Hello.
Hola.
I beat the cut there, I think, James.
You did. You beat the cut.
I said hello when the screen was still black.
I should be over here. Excuse me.
You have tape that for your positioning, and you just defied that.
So I can hear producer Reese in my ear, and he just said, "Can you get rid of that?" I'm not going to repeat what he said. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to mention what else he said there.
I didn't hear him, so that's a secret.
You didn't hear him?
No, yeah.
I heard him. He was saying really weird things, Dan. I don't know. My innocent ears are not prepared for this. Anyway, we've had a lot of producer Patrick recently.
Yeah.
But not so much a producer Reese. He's been
Where did
here
producer
and
Reese
there.
go? Where did he go?
He's been all around the world, Dan. Producer Reese has been on tour.
Well, we should make a producer Reese show if it's like being all around the world. Like who's the
Like a travel show.
Oh, is it the what's his name from New Zealand? I can't remember.
New Zealand.
Yeah, there's a guy, an actor from New Zealand, I think, and they did a show like him all around the world. Anyway, we'll go into the game now. Talk about things we do know about. We know about Counter-Strike. Let's talk about some Counter-Strike. We have NRG versus SK on Overpass now.
Wait, if I remember correctly, Dan, are you expecting this to be a dominant victory for SK?
Of course. Who would suggest otherwise? Who in their right mind would say anything else?
I
know you're not in your right mind, so maybe you would.
Ooh, look at that.
That's really nice.
That's nice. It's a bit obese though. Who makes obese elephants? Toys. Like,
well, it's cute.
Why is its stomach so fat?
Are you saying this is going to send a bad message? You know, distorted body image and all that.
No, but I mean, maybe it's a pregnant elephant. But who makes pregnant elephant plushies? Or teddy bears? I don't know.
That's quite niche, isn't it?
Anyway, like I don't think NRG will necessarily be a walkover on this map. I'm not going to go as far as to say I expect them to win because SK are the best team in the world. Why would you bet against them? But I think they've got something to show as well.
It's such a good map
and mainly on their CT side for NRG. So we'll see if they can get things going first in the pistol round. Not so far so good.
So far so bad. Cold stepping up. Peter finally delivers, but got some trades coming in. SK, though, they get the bomb down. That's the important thing. It's starting to tick away, and NRG have not been doing so well on these duels. However, tabseN almost catching the very low fallen. Trying to go with two avenues of attack here, but you can see that Peter's been deflected onto 1 HP. I don't know what he's going to possibly do with 1 HP right now. It looks like they're going to try to save their Kevlars, which is pretty smart, to be honest. I don't think they're... Like, for them to win this round is probably like less than... Well, it's probably definitely less than 10%, probably less than 5%.
I think it's more or less 0 at that point.
Yeah,
because they don't have a kit either.
Oh, no kit. Yeah, of course, yeah. So, nice to save the Kevlar. And tabseN can even get a helmet for a very affordable price, James.
$350.
Bargain.
So I see Peter and LEGIJA. Actually, no, I think LEGIJA might have a P250. But Peter has a... yeah, LEGIJA's got a P250, but Peter has a stock P2000. Which I think is reasonably rare at the moment. You don't see many people pick up the P2000. It's very hard to justify using P2000 over USP. It's very hard. Anyway, SK off to winning ways. This time they go for 4 UMPs and the MAC-10. Interestingly, the MAC-10's over at the furthest range, but it's doing the right work. Nobody... It's interesting, SK not really focusing towards short B on the anti-force buy round. Charging into the A site, but FX gets shot from the front and the back by his teammate as well. Man advantage though. They've got a late flank from, or the late rotation from Taco, making sure there's no flank. Meanwhile, the team will clean up over towards the A site, but tabseN and got B picked up 2 MPs now, and everyone's dead in 1 second. 3 kills. It's Taco alone. He can do this, but I mean, this round's anyone's now. tabseN's got a helmet. So that's pretty much a 1 versus 1, utility-wise, and then there's God B as well. So how does he find the 1 versus 1?
It's happening again, isn't it? It's happening again. Oh, there it is. Very nicely done. tabseN goes for a peek. A little bit too far out, maybe. Perhaps regretting that one now. Taco is finding himself in the 1 versus 1. He has the bomb as well. So the guessing game is really there for God B. Tossing over the smoke grenade there to B to really sell the B. Or is he going to try to double fake that? The mind games. The mind games.
I love it. Because no one believes that. You throw a grenade from one site to another on Overpass and nobody believes you. No one.
Oh, if he had more time, it would be really interesting if he was to try to actually take a forward position. He could still take the forward position after planting the bomb. A lot of players would actually go to jungle this position or try to risk that, because if you get there first and get an off angle, it is kind of ridiculous.
The problem is he hasn't planted for the graffiti area, for example. So if he goes there, he can't defend the bomb plant. Unless... Here's a nice Molotov. Gets his bell rung by Gobby, but he has a superior HP. And SK will just about keep the clean sheets for now.
Clean sheets. And the first map, let's not forget that NRG were able to go up 7-0. That's kind of an insane way to start off a matchup against SK, but this is probably SK's best map. They are absolutely one of the best Overpass teams in the world. Very, very strong on this map. On their T side, getting off to a good start definitely doesn't spell good things here for the future of NRG. We'll have to see if they can bounce back in their next buy round, but SK, you can see they've approached this one. This is going to be a bit of a drill, an anti-eco drill. You've got the 2 MAC-10s there, a couple of UMPs. The triple man boost, sorry, there onto NRG. By Jungle, just to get some information, but that's not really going to help them too much. It's not too much you can ever expect to do.
It's a formality then.
It really is, yeah.
It's a formality.
Especially against SK, running their anti-eco drills. What are you going to do?
What you're going to do when SK run their anti-eco drills on you. Right then, LEGIJA drops the... Wow, LEGIJA has... Okay, he's got armor, good. Drops the AWP for Peter. LEGIJA, one would expect him to be over towards short B, I imagine. I know he's got some funky smokes. He actually showed me how to smoke it. Oh, he's boosting. Cold's looking for it, but I think tabseN's crouching. However, coldzera has got past the angle. Now that I really like. We'll get back to that later on because we've got SK responding by pushing pretty quickly into B. They know where two of the players were, but what can they do? Can they capitalize?
LEGIJA, nice position. He did great work on Cobblestone, but he is running out of teammates to play off of. Oh my god, it's getting worse and worse for LEGIJA until there's just he doesn't got a leg to stand on. And Peter will just burn a little bit singed, and try to save the AWP now. Maybe a sneaky frag is found. Ah, oh, nicely done.
Nice.
Very nicely done from Peter. And well, SK already on the hunt. Look at the position already on FNX. It's already in A long.
I like the detail from the CTs boosting to look into short B, but crouching. Because, I mean, when in the earlier days of Overpass, SK would throw pop flashes into that area when they moved through the short B tunnel. But nowadays, always smart, unlucky. Run towards the bomb site after the bomb goes off to be as safe as possible. Anyway, the peek into short B, but crouching is really, really good. Because the pre-fire is real there, especially when you're up against AKs. They're going to shoot in the face all day. So that was a nice touch. But anyway, they lost the round, so they're back on the eco. Are we going to get a chance to see what NRG can do on their CT side? Perhaps, perhaps not. Need to get them some money in the bank first. They will be at maximum loss bonus should they lose this round. SK smartly avoiding the connector area, which is always a problem for Ts when the CTs are on eco or force buy. Although we've seen some teams take the high ground and then move in from the bottom and the top at the same time. Which, if you're going to do it, is definitely a safe way of doing it. NRG being forced back. They want to use a numbers game. They wait for teammates to rotate. They've got 3 people on the flank to the CTs. They can get anything done.
So far, not really landing some of those 1-peaks that can get you into a position to maybe steal a weapon away or do, obviously, some economic damage. So not really much going in the way of NRG here. And the one thing that I'm more scared of for NRG is actually the CT side of SK. So if SK get off to a really good start here on the T side, it really does start to be putting NRG in a position where they'll be running out of air to breathe. And the AWP comes out here on the buy round for Peter. And that's going to be really interesting to see that dynamic. Because one of the great things about Peter is that he can move around a lot. He's one of those AWPers that can be very dynamic and very clutch in all those positions. So that could be a bit of an X factor in this first half for NRG that could help them.
Right then. Peter up far on his own. Can even... Okay, the smoke's still there, so he has opportunity to escape. But he's going to just hold his ground. And you might expect a play to rotate in that position. It is dangerous to stay there. But he's got information for his team as well that people are charging towards long. We've got LEGIJA and God B. They're holding short B for the time being. allowing their teammates to rotate back towards Zeta. There will be 3 CTs in position, but no trade coming in from these players. Taco for 3K, he makes it look easy, Dan. What is that?
Taco
You can't do that.
The defense, man. That is so awesome to see when a player just mows down 3 like they're nothing. Taco did it. That is brutal. This very well means that NRG go down 0-7 themselves now after doing that to SK in the first map. Now SK are very likely to do that to them. He made it look like he's playing against players who have pistols and no Kevlar.
He looked like he was painting calligraphy with a gun, Dan. That's what it looked like. That was beautiful. I'm touched.
Not much you can do sometimes when that happens. And NRG now, Eco City. SK seemingly can kind of run whatever they want. This is the problem as well, and it's also quite cool, you know, to see in the recent months just a more explosive and more dangerous Taco.
Look at that. That's Celine Dion tier, man.
That's
just
gorgeous.
beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that was insane. Like that was crazy.
Instant shutdown.
That was a very nice 3K. Because it was just so peaceful and calm.
Serene.
Serene, yes. I was going for Serenity then. Serenity was definitely found. Oh, that was gorgeous. It was glorious. That's like going into a barbershop and coming out with the finest perm. I mean, not for me. I mean, you got hair to perm. I don't, so you're the one getting the perm down in that situation. Moving swiftly on from perms, we have a 6-0 for SK. They've got tons of money in the bank. This is disastrous for NRG. Yes, we saw comebacks from SK in the first half of the previous match, but in this situation, even if NRG get a round on the board, there's so much pressure coming their way from SK. It's going to be really hard for them to claw back 3 rounds in this half. 3.
Yeah, it's getting to the point of, I wouldn't say no return, obviously, but it's getting to the point where if SK are able to just impose their will in this way and get rolling in that way, that's never a good sign, because one of the things that made SK great in the period where they became known as the best team in the world was them unlocking all of the individual potential. And when that's really firing off, that's when they are very, very scary, as every single player becomes a massive playmaker. And now again, it's just the anti-eco. Interestingly here from the anti-eco rounds, or anti-force buy type round scenario, where they realize their opponent doesn't have nearly as much money to have a proper buy, but might have something, is that they decided to take 3 players through the connector area, which is where you would definitely expect to find players playing close ranges with the likes of pistols or shotguns. And they took 3 players there for a setup. Quite interesting.
Yeah, I think maybe they're trying to do something super unexpected once the tactical pause comes in from their opponents.
Yeah.
So they want to try and avoid any weird plays. And most people know to avoid the connected area, so it's a brave move. But when you're confident enough to take brave moves and sometimes do the wrong plays at the right time, then life can be really, really beautiful. And it's like you can compare it to having an AWPer like JW on your team as well, with the crazy stuff he can do that can win you but also lose you rounds. Like if that's the style of play you have to give him the space to be him, basically.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, then it might wonder, amazing things are possible.
And one of the skill sets of a team like SK when you're on the top is you have to also be unpredictable, because you have to believe everyone is looking at you. Everybody's looking at what you do. You can't have patterns. You can't have easily discernible patterns. But speaking of which, Peter previously has gone for this AWP aggression, and he previously was quite successful with it, getting the initial pick, opening up the round for NRG, although they have obviously not been able to close just yet. And they're going for that early pressure towards the A side of the map. Now, of course, the play that blows this up is very fast B play, because the rotation from A to B is so far away, and there's 3 players instead of just 2 on the A side of the map for NRG in this case. But SK are playing it slow. They're clearing things out here, and you can see the slow movement through connector after securing sewers. They have that double back option now if they want it. So now, depending on what kind of openers they can get, they have all that flexibility. So it's a beautiful way that SK have built this round. and they've already got the pick from Fallen as well.
FugLy's basically in T spawn at the moment, but the thing is he's so far away that he may be all too late to help his team do anything. Look at the pressure coming in towards the B bomb site now. It's being held down for the time being, but now FugLy's essentially in the wrong position. LEGIJA's going down, it's probably going to draw him over towards B. Yet more tabseN's there as well, so it's got B. So all the CTs that remain over towards B bomb site, they finally take B back, but the bomb is on A.
Look how awesome that was as well, because Taco, he realizes that there's a spot where it clicks for NRG. Obviously, that spot is when SK are on the A bomb site planting the bomb, of course. But that's obviously, until that point, NRG weren't 100% sure what was going on. So Taco moves into a position to know how to get that angle on that guy rotating. Even gets the kill there. That's really great play, even though eventually he does go down. Obviously, that makes it so impossible here for NRG in this round. They just don't have the time. And NRG, now, if they can save these 2 guns, with the loss bonus that they have, they're going to be able to post a pretty decent buy in the following round, I should think. Ooh. Oh, no. That is amazing.
Even shot him in the face, Dan.
Yeah.
He saw his elbow and shot him in the face through the wall with 0.1 seconds remaining of the round.
That's glorious.
How tilting must that be?
It makes a big difference as well, because otherwise there would be a lot more nades.
Dan, they've gone double
LEGIJA
ops.
has no Kevlar. Double ops for the win.
They've gone double ops, and they had to spend a lot of money for that, with Gobby going down. That is salt in the wound, Dan. That is like when your shoes have destroyed your feet, and you've got lots of patches with no skin on, and you have to walk home. At least you don't have to.
Even if it was Surge 10, I'm Ubering wherever I have to go. Even if it was maximum Surge.
Dan is in terrible strife at the moment. So an aggressive position from NRG towards the long area, as you can see here on your mini-map. We've got tabseN and FugLy lining up. Fallen is entertaining. He's got the tongs out for the barbecue. SK passive in this particular round. Maybe expecting something different from NRG, as this is, I think, the first big buy since their tactical pause. Why not? 5 people down long. FugLy goes down, but tabseN manages to escape the double ops. We'll have to reform, and now tabseN's in no man's land. Oh, he's going to get jammed trying to jump. This is falling apart bit by bit for NRG. Let's go from Peter. Gobby's putting in some work as well. Somehow down to a 2 versus 2. And we've got Taco stuck between Gobby and LEGIJA. And now it's just FNX with a very rudimentary smoke grenade, which will give his position away. But now he has a shadow advantage. 2-man spray down, not going to happen for him on this occasion. Gobby, last man standing for NRG. But this is what I was talking about. NRG get 1 round on the board, but there's tons of money. There are piles of cash.
Yeah,
for SK.
It's so the danger to be reset is so real for NRG. That is such a worry for them. And that was an interesting round because there's so many strange battles going on all over the place. And NRG now are going to be the recipients of, as you said, a very strong buy from SK. And look at how they are building around this time. Once again, SK are showing us they have these setups to take this connector area over by the door, by the stairs, and forcing NRG out of that position allows them to take over sewers. We can see that happening now. And we're all tabseN to get an angle. The jump, the air time, the hang time, there's too much. And it's going to send him crashing down, and that's going to be a very bad situation. It's just LEGIJA. That's
a catalogue of errors for NRG so far. Man advantage for the SK side. Bombs moving into the site. There are smokes all over the place. And LEGIJA will surely get punished for trying to stop the plant. Indeed, he will. There's covering his team. He's got his back. FugLy makes his way through the smoke. How many kills can he get, though? Just the 1. Traded, leaving Peter alone. And again, the Orpa last man standing. No choice but to... well, is he going to run away? I mean, if he can get some... Ooh, timing. If he can get some shots from this position, then perhaps he could go for it, but they're not giving up anything to Peter, so he will have to retreat. Now, you can see maybe tabseN a bit greedy for information over towards short B. I mean, he's trying to jumping M4 spray, which is a bit of a dire situation there. Split decision, chose not to take the shot. then regretted it afterwards. And then after that, I think it was LEGIJA. I don't know what gun he had. I'm going to assume it was a FAMAS, but he went back to pick up his teammate's M4. Meanwhile, the player pushes short, kills his teammate before, you know, he would have been in a position if he held his gun to save his teammate from going down there. So all the dominoes came falling down, and they're in this position. They're lucky to have Peter surviving with the AWP.
Well, one thing that's interesting is that this is seemingly somewhat of a default type round from SK, because we've seen them go for this, the way that they build rounds. They've done that multiple times now. NRG, if they, well, I have to hold this thought just to see how this initial engagement goes here, because Peter, he's going to get that first frag, but look at the pace from Fur. Undeniable, but eventually fragged, unfortunately for Fur. SK will be in a 3 versus 3, and there's only pistols and Kevlars on NRG, so this becomes dangerous now, because it's hard to know exactly where these pistoling players are going to be.
On the plus side, it should be easy, relatively speaking, for SK to dispose of that dropped weapon around the toilets, because they should be able to just jumping throw it onto the roof. The problem is, are you safe to do that? It's a bit of an exposed position. But it's something to bear in mind. tabseN, notorious with the deagle. No headshots required this time. Still alive, has Kevlar. And now the risk gets quite great for SK, for this particular round at least. In that there's only 2 players, the bomb is separated and being flanked, but Fallen's ready and willing.
Ready, willing, and able. Very tense now, as Fallen knows that he has to guess correctly now. There's not much margin for error here, but Gold B instantly dropped by Taco. He's been so good in that position, pushing from A long, and now it falls. It rests upon tabseN. No kits on tabseN. And there is not going to be a kit along the way. He's just got to force his way in to that A-bomb site and make some magic happen. You can hear some jumping. Can he find a second player? There it is. He's got the information now, but it's not going to work out there. Falling with a very nice peek. SK toying with their food at this point. 10-1 now as NRG start to struggle.
Is it like a killer whale down when they launch seals into the air?
Maybe it is.
Have you seen that? That's the most twisted thing I've seen from the seas. Because I know you know some messed up stuff.
Yeah.
That I don't want to hear about. But yeah, that's killer whales flipping seals into the air is curious. NRG, worst case scenario is here. 10-1. SK looking to dominate and just remind them who the boss is in North American Counter-Strike at the moment. Although maybe Cloud9 will have something to say about that later on.
The end boss.
The final boss. Boss 2. Not much you can expect from the CT side in this round.
So one point I want to make actually for NRG on their buy rounds is that, again, SK, they've kicked off a lot of rounds by building control of the round into sewers and into toilets simultaneously by actually pressuring in through connector and then into sewers. And NRG have actually been on the rounds when they're feeling a bit more aggressive, putting 3 players on A and 2 towards long actually. I think more ideally against what SK have been doing, you want actually to have sewers control and to be more concerned with toilets-based setups instead of long too much. And so if maybe NRG get more of those setups going early into the round, it could be quite interesting to see how things develop for them instead. But Peter, he walks through the smoke, braised. That's a massive risk there, hoping that the smoke's down, that no one's behind it, that he can get a flank and be in a round-winning position. But instead, he's gone down for naught, although maybe some information gained. But NRG at a really big disadvantage here. Still no kit for them.
FugLy